Welcome to the 4-team tourney draft of 2020. We're going to be doing probably just one podcast. There might be an interview for some of the winners afterwards. But we're going to be recapping the first 4 weeks and projecting week 5 and the eventual end of the tournament with a couple other topics intermixed. We have an absurdly long guest list today since Murder doesn't seem to understand the idea of moderation. We've got Alice, here in spirit, Orange Baby.
The original King of Phantom Dust is Orange Baby. Thank you.
Evolution.
What's up, guys?
Carbon.
Also in spirit.
Spooky Taco File.
I'm going to steal Skimmy's bit and say, hello, everyone.
Ryze.
Heyo.
Skimmy.
I'm going to steal everyone's favorite bit and steal Spooky Taco Files thing and say, hello, everyone.
And lastly, our third of 4 captains, Captain Schmidt.
Hello.
Who is the captain of Team Xanxus.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're looking at what I've got up. Do you guys have that link that was shared earlier with the spreadsheets? Because I'll be referring to those, so you might want to have them for your own references.
There was a spreadsheet link shared?
I never do
I'll
double
put it
click.
in there right now so you all can pull it up. I'm looking at the first tab, the team's leaderboard is what we'll have up right now just to get ourselves going. This shows current matchups. That's useless to me right now.
No, it shows.
Oh wait, no, I just had the wrong tab open. Okay, yeah. So right now, Team Affin trailing desperately at 0-16, yet to win a series. They have picked up a few map wins, so there is signs of life in there. They also have a new player this week that might be able to revitalize their ability to field a good team. And we have Team Ryze in second place. Team Skimmy just barely being bumped down from second place down to third place. And running away with it all right now with almost a 10-point lead is Team Schmidt at 31.5. We're looking at the overall score.
That Team Affin has a chance to kick Team Skimmy's ass and put him in 4th place?
That is impossible.
Yeah?
Literally,
No,
if they 3-0'd every single round, we would still be in third.
Well, no, because if they 3-0 for both this round and next round, I think that y'all get bumped down.
And if you know anything about Affin, anything is possible. Even the possible is possible.
Yeah.
Is Team Skimmy where Murder is?
Team Ryze has Murder on it. Team Skimmy would be the team that he and I gave a beating to last week.
Correct.
All right. So we were going to move into call it your favorite match if you must, or the match that you want to talk about. I told everybody to pick 2 just in case somebody else goes before you and takes your match. So have a second one in mind as a backup. I'm going to go down the list as we are in Discord and let you all just talk about whatever match you want to talk about. So I'm actually going to start at the bottom with Schmidt.
Woohoo. All right, so the match I'm talking about is the most recent Bregan and Murder versus Ebony and, who was the fodder that was obliterated?
Choices.
Choices, that's it. So Palace, right? Murder had a terrible start on Palace. And it was looking kind of bleak as they're just popping Murder out. Bregan's just jumping around, dodging everything, staying at 20 health for, I think, over half the match. And then in the last half of the match, Murder and Bregan just brought it back, whittled them down, and took Palace with like 2 minutes left or something. But then came Highway.
Oh my god.
And Highway set the precedent for the matches to come, and Murder Bregan immediately hung a reduced entropy and just went to town, obliterating both Ebony and Choices all day, just messing them up. And then in the third match, I mean, it was just kind of the same thing, Bregan and Murder running away with it. The Highway match set the precedent after the back and forth on Palace, but it was just after the slaughter on Highway, the series was over at that point. It was just cleaning it up.
Any other comments from the rest of the peanut gallery?
I mean, there's not much to say. It was a very, like, after the game one, it was super clean sweep.
There was one specific moment that I just have to mention out of I believe I casted this match as well, but just out of pure kind of shock and disgust at the moment. There was a moment where actually who was the Ebony went down and Choices was on his way to pick him up, and he cartwheeled or attempted to cartwheel over the edge, the little wedge on the one side of the highway over the gap, and Bregan jumped onto that and pushed him off directly into the hole, and on his second attempt hit him in the face with a Rian, point blank. And it was absolutely disgusting. I felt like I needed a shower after watching that moment. It was very rude. Specifically on Highway where they played the Reduce Entropy.
Yeah,
All
it was
right.
good. It was a power move. Good job, Bregan, for using the thumbstick.
Hey, whatever I can do to bully Choices into retiring.
You know,
did
the
that
day he
last
does
time.
retire, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna feel so horrible.
He did retire once from him doing that. He was gone for months and months.
And I did
Even
feel
when he
horrible.
retired.
Evo was
Yeah.
right.
Man, that just shows what kind of impression he left on the community, because I did not even know he disappeared.
Ouch.
Jeez.
All right. Well, any more comments on that match, or are we moving on?
No.
All right, Skimmy, take it away with your match that you want to talk about.
All right. I know we were wanting to do more current recent matches, but like I actually really wanted to bring up. It was one of the very first round matches. It was actually with Carbon and Triple versus Affin and Midas, and like it didn't seem like anything too like stand outish out like at the beginning, like the first game on Palace. But when they switched over to what was it called, to Lane, and like they kind of set like a mini meta that lasted like 2 or 3 weeks, where people were playing like there was this sort of slow down, like you slow down, raise accuracy, and just play rain skills like meta for like a couple of maps that I was seeing like a lot of people were doing, and just because, and it seemed like that was actually a really cool strategy, and actually it didn't seem to work as often. Like I think only maybe one game, but it actually like kind of started a little craze and a little fad that like it was really difficult to deal with, and I had it played against me, so I'm very much aware it was hard to deal with. But like I don't know, I just feel like that was one of the really cool things. I just like the idea that something new was being done. That, I mean, yeah, some of those skills you might have already seen, like you might have already seen a rock shard, you might have already seen a rain, like on that particular map. But like people were they were playing things differently. They were kind of forcing to make the rains actually work, as opposed to usually when you play a rain, it's just make them have to move, and if they don't move, then they take damage. Otherwise, but they were able to they would slow you down with environments or with I can't remember the green skill that does it too.
Burden.
Yeah, burden. Yeah, and I just really liked that particular match just because it kind of set a precedent for a little while, and a lot of people on Team Affin were actually doing it. And honestly, like those matches were like pretty entertaining. I know that one was actually like really close on that particular map, and if I recall correctly, like there was a flub at some point on Team Affin's that there's something that they should have done. I cannot remember exactly what it was. And basically, they beat themselves. They didn't actually get beaten on that map. But I just, like I said, it's specifically because of that one game in that match that it kind of stuck with me throughout the tournament.
Well, anybody else want to talk about that matchup? Maybe Carbon, you were involved. Talk a little about it.
Oh God, do you think I remember back that far?
Yeah, you're supposed to have detailed
Uh,
annotated notes on every
I'm
match you've
so
played.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Didn't you read the rules before showing up?
No, I'm sorry. I don't read
Slacker.
rules. Um, yeah, I remember there was a lot of confusion because Triple brought Rain onto lane, and Team Affen did play an environmental that made everybody slow, and Triple got his Rain first, so people thought that Triple did it. Like, people thought that Triple played the environmental just because he had the Rain and it was making people slow. And so then it actually confused people when he picked it up because I was begging him the whole entire time to pick it up because I cannot dodge rain when I'm slow. And so yeah, I remember being confused about it. I think what ended up happening was one of Team Affen killed themselves, and when they did, they set off rain on Triple, and the rain killed their teammate because they were too close. I think something like that happened.
Yeah.
But I honestly, that was so long ago, and I don't remember.
I think
That's
it's
my
easy
2
enough to
cents.
just blame it on Affen, and you have like a
There you go.
95% chance of that dart hitting the board.
There you go. It's Affen's fault. Ta-da!
Oh, it's at least hitting the wall. I don't care how far you are from throwing it.
Anybody else?
It is all Affen's fault.
All right, Ryze, what match do you have for us?
I have the Affen and Sandal versus Triple and Wolf match, which I believe happened this round 4. Starting on Palace, Affen and Sandal start with a pretty significant health lead. Triple and Wolf put pretty good pressure on Affen from that point. I believe getting him down pretty low. At the time, Sandal and Affen were playing a Psycho Burst combo with Quantum Amps, and Sandal actually finishes it up pretty quickly from that point with 2 nice big swings of Psycho Burst on both Triple and Wolf. From there, we move to Highway. Triple and Wolf bring Chaos and Quantum Decay. There's good trades back and forth. Triple goes in close with an Ice Sword and gets a double hit. Then they do a Quantum Decay. Triple loses a bunch of health. Wolf staying around 17. Wolf kills Triple, then Quantum Decays. Wolf and Triple finish it up on top on Highway, I believe, with like Blaster comboed with, I think, Rian as well. It might have been a sword. And then we also see going to Sign next. Sandal laid a -2 speed Enviro there. It's pretty much blow for blow. Then Triple lands 2 5 damage blasters in a row on Affen. Quantum Decay from Wolf reduces everyone's aura to below 5. Sandal's still at 17 health at that point. Affen is taken out by a Firestorm. His health becomes evened out at around 10 apiece, blow for blow until Affen gets. What does that say? Affen gets
Oh, you really did take notes.
comboed. I really was taking notes. Yeah, gets comboed and dies. Sandal's taken out on his way to the pickup, and then I'm actually finishing lane up now. But lane the laser spam from Triple and Wolf. Sandal is throwing Rians and beating down a shieldless Triple. A jackpot actually kills Sandal after Triple goes down, and Wolf makes the pickup on Triple. Sandal is still down, and they're going for Affen on the way for the pickup. Good manuals from Triple with a twist laser. Tiger Strength brings Affen down a bit more. And then it looks like. Sorry, I'm literally doing this frame by frame. We see
He's casting the match.
photon wave. We see a photon wave take him out a bit further health there. Affen is at
But that-
3 health, going for the pickup, and it finishes off with a final hit on him with a. Wait for it. Another manual aim on Triple's twist laser. Up high.
Was that the particular game where he held the photon wave like the entire game and only used it like
Yes.
twice?
Yep. Yep. He had it in his hand the entire time. But the times he did use it, I mean, it did the damage he needed it to.
I don't think I
feel like-
remember him using it once.
Did he not?
Yeah,
Maybe
I
it's
kept
just
calling
much
like that
manual.
would be a great photon wave. Guess we'll
He
make
He
just
used it like
instead.
twice and
Yeah.
didn't hit anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I will say this about that match, and I wasn't gonna chime in, but You said that they had really good pressure on Affin, but I gotta say, Affin really shocked me with that Psycho Spear or Psycho Shell work he was putting in
Oh
on
yeah,
Palace.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they didn't really get damage on him for a while until they both concentrated him towards the end there.
Affin
even
using
then,
a
they
meta
didn't.
shield and blocking with it repeatedly. Like,
Yeah,
He did that a lot throughout
Yeah.
the match. Actually, he used
what's
shield.
next? 2020. What's next?
Yeah, I actually made a comment on that video when it was posted in the actual Phantom Dust Revive Facebook group, and I was like, who was Affin let play on his account because he was using shields and stuff.
Using shields really does bring up your gameplay
Damn
level.
it, I should have
I
thought
speak
about
from
that.
experience. Anyways, but that was that match.
Anybody else got stuff they want to add?
I added my comments already.
All right, who's up? Spooky Taco File, join us for a moment.
Thanks, Bregan. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I do not have a goddamn dissertation written like Ryze did, but I wanted to go back, and I know that we're trying to keep with recent matches, whatever, but I think one of the most memorable moments from the tournament came out of this match, and that's round 1, Xanxus and Daffy versus Ska and It's Orange Baby. So first of all, Orange recorded this match, and I really appreciate the aesthetics of watching gameplay through JD's perspective. I don't know what it is, very stylish dude. I really appreciate that. Regardless of your opinion on rollers. But on Palace, so what really struck me and what I really enjoyed was actually how each of these rounds ended. So round 1 in Palace ended with a double Flamesword kill for Xanxus. Chef's kiss. And in round 2 on City, Daffy was basically camping a body and ended that game on a manual laser. But the real highlight of that game for me came at the end of the Pano match. And as soon as I start saying this, you guys are going to remember. I think it was Orange needed to make a pickup, or I can't remember if it was Orange or Ska. And Xanxus was just holding and charging a key palm, and then Daffy comes right next to him to charge a double key palm next to him. And of course, that was game over at that point. There was really very little that could be done against that, and so that's how the match ended. But just very aesthetically pleasing and very pretty. That's all I have to say about that match, really.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That ending was quite possibly the coolest ending for any match ever.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Just the way every single round ended with something. I mean, I guess a manual laser isn't that ridiculous, but it was all very stylish, and fun to watch.
All right. Anybody else?
I just want to add that this was the fastest match ever made, assembled, and played. And so
we had a fastest match. Which one?
The fastest match ever assembled and then played, because we played it 48 minutes after it was announced.
Oh, that's right. I remember about that. The most quickly scheduled match.
Yeah. That's what happened when you have efficient people in a match.
I thought you meant like it was the fastest series we'd had, which I was like, I don't think we're going to have that in this tournament.
Either way, my
we've had some pretty ridiculous ones where, like, especially the 1v1 has had them where, like, me or Xanxus gets some poor bastard that, has never really been in the group.
Is that what you're calling choices now?
No.
Wow.
He has the opposite record with me, the longest 1v1 match. All right. Let's see who's up next. Carbon, what match did you want to go into?
Oh God, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the Sharky Filthy Skimmy Jester match that was a couple of days ago, I think.
Oh no.
And I just want to address the utter lack of communication between Skimmy and Jester. Just because a couple of times, like there were a lot of times on Palace when like Jester would be like, go for this person, and Skimmy would be like, who? What are we doing? What's going on? And so that was a struggle just because like there wasn't a centered like focus. And then on Pana when they both killed each other, just because there was no rhyme to anything that was going on. And so I think that was definitely because Sharky and Filthy, I felt like were able to put a lot of pressure and were able to like have a lot better, what is the word you guys use? Synergy. There you go. I used the fancy word. And they were able to like I think they were just able to communicate better, and I think that's what ended up messing up Skimmy and Jester. It's just that they like were not communicating with each other effectively.
What was the word that we had to like ban from the podcast that was like my trigger word? Do you remember it, Evo? What was it? Talking about like
talking what Murder was using.
There was like a
Jumanji?
word where I think it was that one, and Murder was using it, and like everybody just kept saying it, and I was like, we need a different word. Do you remember what it was, Evo?
What it was. No.
I'm gonna put my money on Jumanji.
It was one of those like generic buzzwords, almost like they use in politics and stuff, and they just kept using the word over and over again until it like
lost its meaning.
I think it was something like to piggyback off of that or something.
Yeah, it was piggyback. It was piggyback.
Yeah, to piggyback off of that.
What you say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, guys,
I remember that.
We need a new phrase.
So now your new phrase is synergy.
Oh, it just
you guys
reminded me
say
of
that word all the time.
No, it's telegraph. Bregan's new thing is
telegraph.
yeah,
you need to. You're
Do I say
telegraphing
telegraph a lot?
Yes, if you ever show a skill and Bregan is casting it, you've just telegraphed.
To
Carbon, you
piggyback
turned that
off
into
of
a
that,
drinking
this
game?
team is telegraphing its synergy.
Did I do what?
Oh, did you turn that into a drinking game?
Oh, I wish.
Anytime Bregan says his buzzwords.
I didn't even think telegraph was one of my buzzwords. Jeez,
Is it telegraph or telegram?
That's telegraph.
At least in my experience, almost every caster that does enough casting ends up with a couple of buzzwords that they overuse. But I'll try and remember to cut out telegraph, or at least try and find some synonyms.
Well, good deal. Good deal.
Synonyms.
How about planned orchestration?
How about let's move this podcast along?
So
how about next
Says the
topic?
guy who's up next. Evolution.
Well, I was watching Skimmy.
No one told me to pick a. No one told me to pick a match.
I was watching Skimmy's video.
Like
the
4
podcast
times in the chat.
The chat's muted.
Bro, it was like made yesterday. What?
You literally commented.
Oh yeah, don't forget you need to turn in your Chicago style citations.
Just recall
as well.
a match that you were really interested in seeing and enjoyed watching.
No, but Skimmy literally not hear his partner. Like I remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass because I haven't watched a whole lot. I've been working.
Yeah, we had that problem a lot with the microphones in that particular game.
Yeah.
Like I could not hear him, and as soon as we went to lobby, I could hear him, and then like when we went in the game, his voice was really, really quiet.
I just wanted to point that out because I don't feel like that was entirely his fault.
Yeah, that I do agree. I totally forgot about that, but it was totally true, and I kept mentioning it too.
All right.
So
if evolution is skipping, then we're going on to It's Orange Baby.
All right. So I need to take this back to 2002. Juwan, aka The Grudge, happened against some of my favorite people in the community. Zangsus all account, Killer Mark, Zangsus, Carbon, and I forgot the other person in the match. Who was in the match? Somebody from Team Appen.
Zan.
It was Evo and it was Zan and
Oh
Carbon
God,
Evo
no!
Mark.
Don't talk about that.
All right. So I really just remember one thing about this match. It was on Palace. That was the greatest ending to anything you will see in this tournament.
It's even better if you got to hear me say what I said to Mark live.
Oh yes, that's Evo's buzzword.
God damn it, Mark!
So look, I don't want to talk about how many moves was telegraphed in this match, but there's this move called Cycle Burst or Cycle Wave, but I think it was Cycle Burst. Looked like agony
It was
stuff.
neither.
What are you even talking about?
When everybody died and it was a draw, on
No,
Palace.
no. That's
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 not
not
our
even in the
match.
tournament. That's in the scrim. That's me,
This
Zan,
is why
Killer
we don't
Mark, and
invite you
Alice.
to the.
That's not
This
in
is
the
why we don't
tournament.
invite you to the podcast, Orange.
This is technically still a tournament match.
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
It's a
It's some
tournament
kind
grudge
of
match.
no.
Does not count.
Although
Mark
That's
should
not,
definitely have been
no,
posted.
Mark was talking about that more than his actual match. So
Of
therefore,
course he was. It's Mark.
Let's not use Killamark as your benchmark for what is and is not acceptable.
I mean, here's the
okay,
thing:
it's better than using Appen.
you can't use Orange as a marker for what is or isn't appropriate either. So if Orange uses Killer Mark, does it really make a difference?
Bregan, what match are you going over?
What are you going over?
Remind me.
it's the Ryan Blasian versus
Yes,
whoever
most
the other
recent one.
people were.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
go.
trying to
Random.
find it. Algol and War Machine.
There you go.
Goodness. Those guys, they were there mostly to be put in body bags, but they were there. Trying to remember how Palace went. I think Palace, they just had a good double blaster combo going. They were able to put down the pressure, which has kind of been a benchmark of the team murder teams, is a lot of blaster following in his footsteps. And then Highway came along. Ryze was really playing rough on Highway, and they had them really pinned down with the lasers. And suddenly, Blazy busted out the triple lasers, put Snow Schmidt in the trash can, and then also added Algol Mantis and SE War Machine to the trash can. It was just nasty there on Highway with a very clutch finish. And then they closed out, what was it, City Game 3?
Yep.
Yeah, they closed out City pretty cleanly. They had the double up high spawn and quick laser starts. And, that was a pretty quick and done series. And Snow Schmidt is still wrong.
Whatever, man. The one
This
time
guy
triple laser
is trying to
goes
say that
right.
double lasers is not only good, but better than triple lasers. Have at 'em,
Oh,
people.
whoa. Okay, first, never said it was better.
You said it was
but
better.
I did say no. I said double lasers is good, and I'm running that instead of triple.
This guy took double lasers over triple lasers.
I do have to say, like, right there, like, when I saw that with the triple lasers, like, that by itself was enough to be, like, make me consider wanting to use it in an arsenal. Like, I never even was, like, triple it. I just assumed it was, like, if it's not,
Tiger
like...
Strength triple laser is underrated, and it is nasty.
It's really
I'm
good
just gonna
on
start
highway
using
for
Octo
people
Laser.
that
Call it.
can't
Wait,
see
hold
the back staircase too. It gets over them.
Octo laser doesn't provide the consistent pressure that triple laser does. It's nasty.
Yeah, it takes too long to get the aura.
Whatever. Throw an Opti down, call it a day.
I love me some triple laser.
Takes too long to fire. By the time you hear it, you're already like past it. You've already moved away from it.
I mean, the worst
That's why
part
you
is
have
that
cart-
Schmidt is a jumper, and triple laser is better as a jumper than a cartwheeler.
Whatever.
All right. We are on to our last guest then, who I still don't know if he's actually here. Alice, do you have a matchup you were planning on talking about? Oh, he is alive.
I didn't did my homework, but I'm going to talk about Game Good and the Wolf versus Mirage and War Machine. So that was a pretty straight match, pretty normal strategies in all maps. If I remember correctly, the Wolf and Game Good were able to win Palace because they bleed Mirage and War Machine in the pickups, but afterwards from Pano to City uh, they just got stunned by their by Mirage and War Machine, especially with the optical skills like photon bursts and lasers. And to a 3-1 to Mirage and War Machine. Usually that happens to Team Aphid, that we won Palace and then lose 3 games in a row, but yeah, pretty great series overall.
All right. Well, I guess that concludes us for series. Well, I should open it up. Did anybody else want to comment on that series?
No, I don't. I think I'm good.
All right. Well, that concludes. Never mind.
Wasn't Schmidt saying that was a thing? Like that if you won Palace, that you typically lost the next 3?
Yeah, so that's like a common thing that's happening in this tournament. It's really interesting to see the trend. There's a lot of times in which the winner of Palace goes on to lose 3 consecutive games in a 1-3 for that team. It's happened more this tournament than any time I've seen it in the past.
Yeah, it's happened a lot.
It'd be
Especially the
interesting
last
to see
couple
the
weeks.
actual numbers on it, because that's not a trend I've noticed. But
I'll have to make Jester be this. I'll be like, this is a new stat you need to add to your score sheet. Crack the whip a
poor
little bit.
Jester. All right, let's get into some of the other small topics, and then we'll make predictions for the upcoming round and end of the tournament. Let's talk favorite Arsenal strategies. I'm not going to run through the whole list. We'll just kind of go one at a time. If you got one, bring it out. Wait until that person's done, and then go. What's a really fun Arsenal strategy that you guys have liked?
I really like Reen and Tiger Strength or Blaster and Tiger Strength. I don't know.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
Basic.
yeah, we all know that who is the basic white bitch in this group here.
I mean, there's a couple of us.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you
God.
very
it's not
much.
me.
Their name is Bregan. Lunar
Oh,
Force, Reen Blaster.
I mean, honestly, I do have to say I've really been liking the Lunar Force blasters, but like, I mean, like I feel like since I've been trying a lot of new things in this tournament, and some have worked better than others. Like I've been trying to not be so predictable, and I feel like that's both maybe better and worse. And a lot of the meta choices, I'm starting to understand why people do them, and I really am starting to like specifically any strategy. Like I do really like the Lunar Force with Blaster because just using Lunar Force and a 4 damage attack seems like the perfect little bit to get you past like those dark holes. And I'm really like in general, I'm starting to value stat buffs in general. Any sort of stat buff, whether it's Tiger Strength or like I said, Lunar Force. I mean, I kind of always valued like a Heat, but like those two, I'm starting to value a lot more because their ability to break through those like erase type shields.
Yeah, breaking through erase shields is a pretty big deal. Any other Arsenal combos or other meta?
I'm not really sure
Arsenal's
if this is
regime?
going to be considered meta or Arsenal combos,
I
but
doubt
the
anything you ever
ideas,
talk about is a meta Arsenal.
the ideals that I said that wrong. Ideas that Appen come up with. He be coming up with the most I never thought about it ideas ever.
That's because most
And
of them are bad.
hey, it's fun to play along with. I don't care what anybody say. It's fun playing along with his crazy ideas. I would have never thought of it, and I think outside the box when it comes to Arsenal building.
I
I
just
think.
want. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Schmidt.
Go ahead, Sharky.
Oh no. I just wanted to give a big shout out to Tiger Strength Rapid Cannon.
Oh my gosh, that tore us up. Tiger Strength Rapid Cannon, yeah.
Oh,
I've
it's
been
so
seeing
fun.
a lot. Like it's simple and it's deadly.
It can be.
It literally happened where I got revived and immediately got Tiger Strength Rapid Cannon down to like 3 hit points or
Yep.
1 hit point. Sorry.
I was gonna bring up the fact that there was a highway match and it involved Athen and Ailes. Maybe it was Athen. And, yeah, I think it was Ailes. But both teams brought like annoying give stat boosting. But Athen and Ailes didn't bring any stat fixers whatsoever.
Yeah, I remember that was.
I think that was one of the most entertaining things.
Algo
That's
and
Jester and Algo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got stuck at like double -7 or something.
yeah, it was pretty fun to watch.
Mhm.
Would have got away with it too if they had a Purify.
Purify and Armoros, any stat fixer in the game.
Yeah, I was expecting a key phase from Jester and Algo,
Yes.
but no annoying give, +9 speed, and Armor's Watch to be safe.
Oliz, I think I'm playing you this time, but and I shouldn't admit this, but you hit me with annoying gift shit more often than I care to admit.
Oh my gosh, that annoying gift guardian angel
Yep.
Oh, I love that combo. It's so great.
hurts my soul.
Nightmares.
If you can do it, if you can get off like annoying gift, guardian angel, octo laser, it's just the ultimate like smack them for 16 damage.
Octolaser, I'm telling you.
No, I don't think that doesn't work because the Guardian Angel breaks.
No, it works.
Man, your
That
skill
works.
Ryze is about to be an orange baby tier, Schmidt.
Oh,
It
whatever.
works. It'll trigger it 8 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
I think it was Guinan that hit me with it, and just insta-killed me. It was annoying. Because I took like one Rian before it, and that was it.
Yeah,
I would like
likes
to
that
point.
shotgun octo laser with the guardian angel.
I would like to point out that people have been trying to succeed with certain skills when other players do. Like in round 2, 4 teams were trying to win matches with Twister or Tornado. I don't remember, or stuff like Rapid Cannon in the last round.
Well, you know what? There's one. If nobody else is going to shout it out, I
I
still
got one
love the
more.
idea. I don't care.
Sorry.
You can do it after. I'm going to shout out Evolution's Recollection Judge of Anubis. I actually really liked that. I felt like the execution fell a little flat, but it was so close to just popping Xanxus, and it was, oh my goodness, popping them both
Well, that
down.
killed me a lot.
I think if it was any other player.
Frustrated the fuck out of me. That's why I kept throwing it.
He had it if he had thrown the Judge first and then the Dragon Slayer second, but instead he swapped the combo.
Because the reason why is because the first one I throw is meant to bust the shield, so the Dragon Slayer kind of pointless. But then he used dash right in front of me, and I was like, mother of God.
Yep.
Like, I just wanted to fucking throw myself off the map right then and there.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, but I loved the idea behind that arsenal, and even like I said in the draft, I was just like, that stuff's like actually almost meta. Like I was watching it, like that was really doing work there, and I would like to see that tried again in maybe a less one-sided matchup.
I do want to go with. I want to throw something out here. Just another strategy that I kind of just spaced on that I really like, and we didn't see it much this tournament. But we did see it the previous draft tournament. It's near the end, and it was one that Bregan brought in. Was with the Frighten and Dance of Death, or Frighten and Psycho Burst combo. Like it's so brutal.
That's because Broly shut it down with a Will-o'-the-Wisp. That's why we haven't seen it since.
Well,
we've actually seen a lot of
the
it
other
since.
thing is, yeah, me and Zan tried to do it against Murder and Ryan, but you know, Photon Wave would like to disagree with that combo.
Hey, Bregan, remember when we did a Frighten Dance of Death combo?
No.
He doesn't want to remember that? Okay.
Apparently not.
That was fun.
Oh, sorry, my mic got muted. Who did a Dance to Death combo?
When you and I tried a Frightened Dance of Death combo in Pano.
Oh, I don't remember how well it went or badly. I just remember we didn't end up doing it.
Damage. That was how that went.
That's right. Yeah, Skaboss had that glorious Guard of Water.
Jesus Christ.
That was disgusting.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's still in the meta. I think I think it just needs some more practice between who's using it, and these tournaments don't really allow you to practice combos like that as much. Because at least in my experience doing it with Shadow Shield first, like it took a lot of practice to really get the synergy down. I remember, I think Murder and was it Mario? Murder,
Yeah,
maybe it was
Mario
Murder.
did it
I think it
with
might have been
Blaster.
Murder and Jay did it really
No,
well.
it was Murder.
Once.
It was Murder and Mario with Blaster, and then Murder and Jay did it with Rockshot on Refinery before.
Yeah, I remember them doing it on Refinery to good measure once. And I think Guinan did it once too, pretty well. It's something that if you have more time to practice with a partner and you get the synergy down, I think it's really busted. But playing with one partner for 1 week makes that difficult.
Yeah. But I do like the idea of the strategy and think it's like a really cool, it's one of those things where you feel like you actually are a team. You know what I mean? Like it's like you actually feel like that player is a team. You know, like you know what I mean? Like the two players are working together for a common strategy. That's what I really like about that particular one.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Any other
I don't
strategies?
think I got.
Oh, yeah. Orange has
Yeah.
several.
This is, of course, the orange type of strategy, so nobody would use it outside of me, maybe Affin, maybe somebody else. But bravery decision and either Soul Cage or Chaos. I feel like it's an underrated combo. Don't see it too much. And I feel like it's almost good enough to be considered meta. Almost.
I could see a bravery Soul Cage, or not Soul Cage, Chaos. I don't like Soul Cage for any reason, really. Bravery Chaos can work. I just feel like you end up making your bravery arsenal kind of clunky, and it can, like, if it doesn't come out right, you might have to override attacks just to get to the chaos and bravery at the same time.
Sure.
The thing I kind of like about doing it with chaos though is that like maybe if you have to hit the bravery and they say quantum decay or something like that, like you may potentially have more aura in your arsenal because of it.
I could see maybe like a Chaos Blaster deck going with a Bravery deck, but Bravery is still so risky right now in competitive anyway.
You can't run Chaos and Blaster. You literally have no shields in either
Yeah.
skill that you can use.
That's true.
You have Reflect Mirror. I think that's it.
Well, I mean,
Erase Shell.
Yeah.
It depends what you. Yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing. I've never found a Chaos build that I was really satisfied with.
Yeah,
it's
Chaos with
a
nature
decent
works pretty
environmental,
well, and that's about
but
it.
I've never really been happy with it.
On the idea of environments in general, like I found that like I really want to find something like I want to find a cool build that works with Necronomicon. I feel like there's so many meta things that it just like stops them from doing what they want to do. You can't use Reincarnation, you can't use Ice Sword, you can't use Lightning Sword. Like those are really big staple skills. The problem is it only affects those skills.
Honestly, I feel like that's more of a plug and play.
It's pretty gnarly.
Like
I used to have a Necronomicon that was Dragon Slayers and Lax, and I used those to get myself down to Bravery, but I had 2 Necronomicons in it as well, and it worked really well.
Okay.
All right. Any other meta talk? No? All right. Let's move on. Who's your most exciting player to watch so far? Guess we'll just start at the top of the list. If you don't have an answer, that's okay. Alice, who's been your most exciting player so far?
I have been really liking Triple L manuals.
Triple has
He's
been a lot of
bold
fun to
about
watch.
them. Yeah, he's really bold about them. He prefers to manually aim whatever laser he has that using other skills that are more appropriate to the situation.
All right. How about you, Orange? Who's been your favorite player to watch? Your most exciting, that is.
It's most exciting. That's hands down got to be Affin. You never know what he's gonna bring or what he's gonna have his partner do.
Oh my God! When are you two gonna get married and call it done?
Oh, it's already finalized. It was finalized on podcast episode number 228. Thought you was there. But outside of Affin, I actually need to give it to the one and only Sharknado. His first tournament, and I think he's actually like on Sharknado 3, maybe Sharknado 4 in his first tournament. I feel like he's on that level right now. It's really fun watching the Sharky game.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Oh, goodness. Oh, Sharknado, can we just talk about those movies and Tara Reid's career? Or is that another?
You know,
That's
I feel
another
like that could be
podcast.
a
That
top
is not
5.
funny.
well,
That could be a top 5 list.
I gotta pick someone new now because I was gonna go with Sharky as well, but I'm gonna pick
You
someone
can
new
still
now.
go with him.
Yeah, you can go with the same person.
Yeah, man, I'm not the only person allowed to pick Sharknado or Appen.
You got
Might
like
be the
5
only
people
person
between
that
you too, so people will forget by then.
Yeah.
All right. Evolution. Who's been your most exciting player?
Probably gonna have to go with Murder this round or this time, and not specifically because of his playing, but it's really funny listening to him bitch about his aura screws.
Did you see how bad it was on our first game on
Yeah.
Palace? The 0 aura start.
Yeah, but what's always funny to me is like he's so over dramatic about it. He's like, I'm literally out of shields. I'm out of attacks. I have nothing left. And I'm looking, it's like 16 skills left when he said he was out of shields. I'm like, damn, dude.
Well, that one was pretty literal.
He still had
He had 0 aura, and then after that he had like overwritten like 3 or 4 shields, and then they immediately came
got
over
one
and
popped.
dragon slayed him.
Oh, I thought he got popped.
I mean, that's kind of like
He was getting popped, but he also got Dragon Slayed.
Well, yeah, that's my pick. Just because he's so funny when he's all hyped up and nervous because his shields and skills are gone.
All right, who's your most exciting so far, Carbon? Nobody can hear you, Carbon. There you are.
Oh wait.
We can hear you
Okay.
now.
I like Sandal. I think Sandal plays what is it Zan calls him? The mad scientist. I think he plays the way he
coined
wants
that
to
term.
play. And
mine.
that okay. Sorry. Okay, and but I think he plays how he wants to play, and he plays the skills that he finds fun and exciting, and that he just does it. And I love being in a him and Algo lobby where they just do all this weird stuff. And I was really excited to see him still doing that weird stuff when he got into the tournament. So I'd say Sandal.
Sandal's always been like my favorite person in like every tournament. I love that dude. I love everything he does. All right, Spooky Taco File. Who has been your most exciting player?
I mean, so I really enjoy watching Alice play. Like I feel like he has kind of a distinct style, and I like what he does. But I will go out of my way to watch Ryze play. Like I will stop what I'm doing and watch that. I don't know. I just, especially if I can hear him while he's playing, that's just, oh god.
That's our
That's the
favorite part
ideal
too.
game.
We bring mind reading just for that.
Yeah, I mean that's like the number one reason to ever tune into anything he's doing is just to hear him rage.
I know, and it's also like, he's a very competent player and everything. But I gotta admit, the primary thing, the most like exciting or fun for me to watch is definitely Ryze. Primarily for that reason.
I wish I could have listened to him when I was warming him up for his match last night.
Oh god.
Oh, it was me and Bregan warming him up. Oh, it was great.
Do you want to tell him about the lane match?
Oh geez, so
Oh yeah,
Ryan,
that's right.
Ryan and Bladen were down in the dumps, and they were warming up, but they were in a bad rut, and so we decided, we'll give them a match. So we played some joking Arsenal, consisting of Confused Gravity, a really bad 2 aura start with a Lightning and an Ice Sword on Bregan, but still hitting both of them, and Sensor Mines doing, I think it was like 12 damage. What else was there, Bregan?
Literally the synergy there was a Frightened Arsenal with a Sensor Mine Arsenal. And by that I mean there wasn't synergy.
There was not synergy at all.
I hit like 10 Storm Blades, and they just kept like walking. I don't know if I saw them successfully execute a mine once, and they managed to die to the same mine simultaneously. Like both of them died to the same mine. Because we were like at this point where like I was out of Storm Blades, and like all I had was like one more Ice Sword left, and all he had was Sensor Mine. Like the game should have been theirs, and then they just both walked into the same mine and died.
pretty
And it's
sure.
not like I put them down secretly. I put them down in front
Nah.
of their face,
Yeah, that's
showing
pretty
them where it is.
Ugh.
I'm pretty sure the most tilting part of that though was when I charged you. I had like a 6-7 aura start. I had, I think, like a flame sword and a reed and a shield, and you had 2 aura and a single ice sword and a single lightning sword. I get up the lift, you hit me with the lightning sword first and then the ice sword next, and I have basically nothing. And I just stare at you and slow walk back.
Just
I was
There was a lot of
so
slow walking, so it was
angry.
great
Yeah,
to
no, because like I would just stop. I'd just stop and slow walk. Because you know what? What's the point?
I also
Why am
remember
I
jumping
here?
in circles
Just to suffer.
just to rub it in after the ice
Yes. Oh
sword.
my. Yep. Yep. You just fucking. Yep. Yep. PTSD. Right. Oh, I guess it's my
Yeah,
turn.
it's your turn. I was just looking at the
gosh.
list. It's your turn. Who's your most exciting player,
Who's
and
my
why is it
most
whenever I spank
exciting
you?
player? God, who's my most exciting player to watch? I have to pick one. Hmm. 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 Exciting player to watch. I really do like watching like the unknown players, I suppose. So to be fair, I guess they're both kind of on my team, but I've enjoyed watching Fueled and Sharky kind of prove themselves in this tournament, being kind of new to everything, and watching them, get that synergy with their partners, and or execute combos or shield well, or be able to use the environment well. It's nice to see newer players do those sort of things for the first time in a tournament setting with a casted match. So those kind of situations and players I definitely enjoy watching the most, I think, and watching that growth from like the first week to the last week.
Shark, you're not gonna gush over that comment?
No, I don't respect Ryze, so that means very little.
Whoa.
Oh,
That's acceptable. Understanding. I don't respect myself, so it's fine. No worries.
You know, I'm kidding, and I love you, and thank you.
I know you're good.
All right. Is it ready for me now?
Yeah, I think it's you.
All right. Well, since Sharky has been given glowing recommendations, I'm gonna go ahead and pass on him because he was my first one on talking point. But another person that I really enjoyed actually watching is along Ryze's notes is another kind of newcomer to the tournament, or maybe he just hasn't been around as far as I've been seeing. Is Filthy. Filthy has just come in and like he's just super aggressive. He doesn't really like he'll just freaking grab a flame sword and just rush at you. And like sometimes that just catches people off guard and they just can't do anything. Like he doesn't give you a chance to breathe. And like I've seen him just go ham with little to nothing and kind of just make it work. In fact, that kind of happened. I know in Fueled's very first match, Filthy kind of just went ham that whole match. Like every single game, he was just like giving pressure and just not letting anything happen from his opponents.
Yeah, Filthy's a real delight in the tournaments. It's a shame he wasn't in the past couple. I'm glad to have him, and I get the chance to partner with him this round as well, which should be fun. Schmidt, who's your most exciting player?
So, just to go back a little bit, I was gonna pick Ryze, and I don't like.
Is it because he's
complimenting
is it because he's a rager?
It's partly that. It's also partly that he is my previous tag Tourney partner, but it's also because, as most people know, we have like one of the biggest rivalries like against each other and are always at each other's throats. And so, I mean, I like seeing him do good, but also I love seeing him fail. It brings me joy. But no, the player that I do enjoy watching the most is Midas Wright. He's been playing. Granted, he's won 4 games, I believe, but he puts a lot of pressure down in his games. He will walk up to you, beat you in the face, and just walk away. And it kind of throws you for a loop because you're going up against Affin's team, so most people go in with the ideology. No offense to anybody here, but they go into the ideology with, oh, it's just Affin's team. I'm fighting Midas. Then you get hit a couple times, and you're like, oh, okay, I need to get my head in the game, else I'm gonna get beat down. And so it's really nice to see him just going into people's bases and beating the crap out of them and walking away like nothing happened.
Nice.
I need to give credit to Remitsu for actually switching to a card wheeler for this turn. So he's actually doing pretty well for just switching to a card wheeler.
Renketsu is Midas right, just for those who aren't aware.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I was very confused.
Oh, my fault.
He played under Renketsu for like 2-3 years, and for this tournament switched to Midas right. So, let's see. I'm gonna just change the next topic a little bit. Still kind of the same area. I'm looking at the players tab right now. Sorry, what?
Who's your pick?
Oh, usually I abstain from this stuff. I guess for me it would still have to be
not
Filthy. I love seeing Filthy and Sandal, both of them. You know, I talked a bit about it when other people did. I love seeing both of them in there. Filthy is just, you know, real scrappy player. He's got a unique play style. He almost always has entertaining matches, and then Sandal is always an absolute joy just with the wacky stuff he breaks out, win or lose. He has almost like 50% of our highlight plays that we have in various montages and stuff like that, and he comprises probably 50% of my favorite plays I've ever seen as well. I just love watching him do anything. The next topic was going to be about like undervalued or overvalued players. I'm just going to shift it a bit, like looking at the players tab on that spreadsheet. Who do you think has really surprised you based on performance or what their original score was? We've seen several go up much higher, several go down lower. What are your biggest surprises? We'll start at the bottom of the list with Schmidt.
Well, I don't want to be that guy, but until this last round, the biggest point difference negatively was Ryze. And I feel like that's kind of a shock seeing that. I think he's just had kind of hard matchups to go into, but I kind of expected him to pull a little more out, and been kind of slacking down there. So I think he was kind of a little, I don't want to say overrated.
You cut out after overrated.
I pulled the
I think
lag
that was the cliffhanger.
Don't think he's necessarily overrated. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't think he's necessarily overrated. I just don't think he's playing up to the number like standard that he was set at.
Who are you talking about?
Ryze.
Snow Ryze.
Oh.
What about you, Skimmy? What performance has surprised you the most?
Throughout the whole tournament, or just like recently? Because
total tournament performance. So like, who's over or underperformed your expectations by a wide margin?
I have to say, I feel like honestly, like this might be kind of weird, but like I feel like Xanxus, for the simple reason that I expected him to like be the best player of the tournament, but it didn't. It does feel like he's just miles above the other best players on each player's team.
I feel like he hasn't really been challenged yet in a lot of the matchups.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm noticing, and it's just like I feel like that's been like something that's a real big surprise. I felt like there's plenty of players that should be able to like at least give him a challenge, and I'm hoping maybe this week we'll be able to do that. Maybe so, maybe not. But
I feel like he's had a lot of softball so far, but I would say he's the best player in the tournament, pretty clearly.
Oh yeah, it just feels like it feels like not so much that I'm surprised that he's winning. I'm surprised that she's just winning by such a wide margin, and it doesn't seem like he's being contested even the slightest.
All right, what about you, Ryze?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and say Blazy. Simply because I think, because I first kind of interacted with Blazy in the past draft tournament, and thinking about his performance then, his performance now, even just in these kind of what the expectation was set for me to compare to how he's been performing. I've been really happy and impressed with how he's doing. I think he's really improved, even to small improvements like switching over his 3-score arsenals to 2-school has really improved his performance and his play. He's done really good consistent pressure and been able to kind of maneuver around the map well and make good decisions. So I think that Blazy has kind of overperformed my expectations of him for sure.
What about you, Salachophile?
Actually, I agree with Lazy. He's my pick too. Like I'm relatively new, and I don't know if I'm able to actually gauge players' ability or anything like that. But yeah, man, he's really shown up, and like, yeah, I feel like a jerk saying that I'm pleasantly surprised, but I am, and yeah, that's definitely my pick.
All right. Let's see who's next. Carbon.
I mean, I would probably say Sharky just because like I knew that he was gonna be like pretty good and I knew that he was gonna probably be a pretty good mid-tier person, but I think he's definitely like risen to the occasion and been able to play with some people and bring out the best in them in matches and stuff. So I would say he's overperformed than I thought he would.
Evolution?
Carbon. Carbon is killing it, man. Really proud of you, girl. As far as you came from when you first started till now.
Oh my God, is that a compliment from Evolution?
Don't
Jesus
get you straight.
Christ. Don't worry, I'm not.
No, she did really good in our last match. Just like I said, compared, I played with you day one when you first started playing. Just a whole nother world.
Yeah, and you made her run orb.
I did.
Every arsenal, man. Every arsenal orb.
Is that because you were playing against Orange every game?
No, just because Evo's addicted to orb.
Because I was playing against Ebony and Kanye every day. That's why I ran orb.
Oh, that makes sense.
I still have an arsenal to this day with orb in it that I have just not taken.
Orange.
So yeah, good job, Carbon.
Oh, thank you.
Can you say that one more time, Evo?
No.
Don't ask for too much. He'll start hating on me again.
Orange is like trying to pretend Evolution's talking about him. Say it one more time. Let me hit the record button.
Nah, I need to give it to Mirage. Definitely had a nice little 180 from this tournament to the last. I'm not looking at the scorecard. I'm just saying from the videos I watched, seemed like Mirage had a little more success in his matches this round than last tournament. So that's what I'm giving my little undervalued player award to.
All right. Alice.
Has to be Midas. He had impressed me since our match together.
Yeah, he's really been showing up and putting in more work than he has in previous tournaments, and I like the cartwheeler switch. I feel like that's given him more defensive capabilities.
No, that not.
Eliminated some of his
trash.
weaknesses. All right, Evolution, are you making me do this one too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to get semi-controversial up in here. The player that is by far disappointed me the most, and I didn't know that he could do any worse than he already had.
Oh no, I know where it's going with this.
Is
Skimmy?
Affin Show for taking the draft in round 0.
There it is.
Talk about that.
Okay,
I know
need
you
to
don't want to
debate on
talk
this
about
one.
it. I know it hurts, and I feel for you. You know, my couch is always open.
In this stupid ass rating system.
I just feel like it's one of those things that I just don't want to let be swept under the rug because I still feel strongly about it. You guys are like 0-16, and it wasn't fair.
Things happen. You know, you can't predict the unpredictable. And I understand that would happen. I
Except
felt
for
like
you
we had the
can't
best.
predict the matches
Hey,
we're gonna
can-
have.
There's
Can I
no
have,
defense. There's no defense for it. I'm sorry.
Can I have admin capability so I can boot Orange's ass out of here?
No,
Whoa.
Seems like he has a really
apologists for
hot
that
date with
because
Appen.
it's
He's,
thrown the entire tournament into whack. No
Granted, we
apologists.
did when the draft happened. All of us like triple checked to make sure that Affen was drafting the way we wanted. Every single pick, we're like, "Are you positive that's your pick?"
Yeah, we kept asking, like, "Are you sure?"
And
Yep.
he got the team he wanted.
I mean,
Right.
he had the chance to meme, but he really needed to, to man up a bit
we're
after
getting
that.
That
too
was
far into this,
that wasn't the
but I don't-
time to go memeing, and he did, and I think
Agreed.
that's extremely unfortunate.
Listen,
There's
this is
plenty
the
of
bottom
times
line.
that you can meme during the tournament, whether it be podcasts, casting, playing matches, whatever you want. But I feel like the
This is the
draft
bottom
where
line.
you affect
Honestly, this
7 other players
this was a
not the time
tournament
to meme.
that this was a tournament that Choices proposed and Murder and the rest of the mods perfected the idea behind it, and it was completely experimental, and it kind of just all went out the fucking window day one when 1 out of the 4 teams is so tilted in the opposite direction that it's free wins for the rest.
Because like the thing about it is that it's not like your team is even comprised of all bad players or something, but the way the tournament is designed, that matchups are done
It's
by
me-
score, you're basically mathematically eliminated almost every round by the scores. Because it's not like you could even throw out, like in the previous tournament, and be like, all right, we're going to put me and Sandal versus one of their lower tiers just so we can pick up a win. Because you don't have that option. It's done mathematically. You or Sandal or now Kanye and Skabos are forced to play
it's
the top
highest
matchup
rating against highest rating
every
and
time, yeah. And
Yeah, so
mathematically, it's
it's-
made it almost impossible for you guys to even win one match, which is
Mathematically,
rough.
it's put me on Zans and Ebonies and Murders every fucking round.
Yep.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm more worried that it's gonna affect the mindset of some of the players that are on his team and make them just off put at playing the game or want to enter into tournaments or any of that.
that's why
stuff
I'm not. That's
because
why I
of
don't
how-
talk in the chat, man. Because if I voice my opinion in there, like I typically would do, I'm not trying to put nobody down or this is on Athens, so I don't want anyone in there to feel like they're a lead weight or some shit like that. That's not what I'm trying to get across. So I just stay quiet. I don't even talk in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even know how to.
Coming from the 180 for this, I feel like the chat was actually pretty great. I know you say you're not really talking in it, and
I'm not.
if I
The most
remember
I talked was today
correctly,
when we added Kanye. That was it.
if I remember correctly, they allowed you to stay if you wanted to trade or something.
They
think that
offered
was-
me the option to bail. That's not. I don't have that in my blood, so I don't bail on people.
So I felt like that was a fair offer, nonetheless.
It doesn't sound very fair. What, trade me for who?
I
Put that
don't know,
off on
Shark
somebody
Noodle?
else?
Shoot,
Yeah.
Man, I think Sharky likes to win.
I don't know. I think Sharky liked the podcast.
Look, dude.
Sorry, what?
Sounds about accurate.
I think
No,
some of
but
this
Before
conversation
this
is just gonna
devolves
go
too
really
much,
sour really-
I felt like it
really
should be
quick.
addressed. But before it devolves too much, we're gonna move on. Does everybody have week 5's matchups? I know the heading in the picture says week 4, but do you all have the coming week matchups in front of you?
I can pull them up here in a second if I go to my team
I
chat.
can put it in the podcast chat as well.
Yeah, it's in the Discord.
Oh, you have
Is
it in the
it already in
Discord
the
as well?
Yeah, please, can you post them post that in the
Yeah,
in
I'll
the
put it
Discord?
in the Discord as well. Give me a second. Win.
All right, yeah, I think I have
Shift
this. I think it's opening anyway.
All right. There's a link in the Facebook chat, and there's also the image pasted right there. I'll put it there too. Okay. Let's talk Team Schmidt versus Team Skimmy first.
All right, I'm just trying to get mine pulled up. I'm having a little issue getting it to load. It doesn't want to load for me.
Let's do The big marquee matchup of the round. I think this is one of our first really big matchups. Like I said, I feel like a lot of times Zan hasn't really been challenged yet. He's kind of had some softballs. But this time it's going to be with the best, at least score-wise, player on his team. So Zan and Math together versus the top-performing members of Team Skimmy, Ebony and Jay. So let's take somebody not involved with either team. Evolution, why don't you talk about this matchup and what you think is going to happen?
This is a hard one to judge, honestly. Jay and Ebony have that special word synergy. They play like every day together. Zan's Zan, so it could really go either way. I really think this falls completely no pressure on Math. It depends if he brings his A game or not. Math, I've seen him run for a month or two straight, nothing but Reen and Flamesword, and then like the last year, it's been Charge and Diabolical and Frostbites, and so I don't know. This completely falls on what kind of swing of things Math is gonna do. But if I had to give a prediction based off of what I've seen, think I'm gonna give it to. I think the deciding factor here is still gonna be Zan. I think his skill above the rest is what's gonna be. So I think it's gonna be a 3-2 in favor of Zan and Math.
All right, I'm going to take the opinion of one more person who's not involved for the team, and then I'll open it up with anybody if they want to comment. Ryze.
Oh, damn it.
Tell me what you think is going to happen here.
I mean, yeah, no, it is a Titan match. I've played against like Ebony and Jay before in like casual matches. I've seen them play in like a tournament setting as well. They're both extremely, obviously good players, and they do have that really good synergy. Obviously, Xanxus is, more or less considered the top player in Phantom Dust at the moment. And Math is, no slouch. He's definitely a top A tier player, and both of them play a much more aggressive play compared to Ebony and Jay, who tend to trend a bit more defensive, a bit more slower burn. God, it's really hard to call. I think it is going to be just a really fun match to watch. Who do I want to give it to?
The viewers are definitely going to be the winners of this matchup.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. This is probably going to be the best match as far as play-wise and viewership-wise in the entire tournament, I would argue. Except maybe next round, but we'll see.
Are you going to make a pick?
I don't want to. I'm an indecisive person, damn it. But I'll go ahead and give it to Zan and Math. God, don't make me give a score. I guess I'll do a 3-2 as well. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard-fought match.
All right, I'll go ahead and open it up to anybody else who wants to chime in on it.
I might as well. Let's see. You got a team with a whole lot of symbiosis in Ebony and Jay. I'm not using synergy. I'm sorry. Then you got Xanxus and Mr. Vito and Math. So I'm gonna go Xanxus and Math 3-1-1.
Throwing a tie in there?
I mean, it is the Ebony series.
Yeah. Definitely see a tie in this one.
That might be the most accurate thing Orange has said all podcast.
I think you're right on that.
The only thing is I would just flip the teams. I think it'll be 3-1-1 Ebony and Jay. I think Ebony's had a rough go of it this tournament. I think he's going to want to get some face back, and he's going to play really well with Jay, who he has played an absurd number of games with already, and I think that they will have the synergy, using that buzzword again, and that they're going to come in and take the series.
I really wanted to
fight me.
I was gonna say I really wanted to give that particular opinion as well, but I felt like people would just say it's biased. But it's just like they have they play so often together. Like that's one of the strongest things about having those two on my team is just the fact that they have that inbuilt synergy that
That
other team ups don't really have. I
that
mean,
was the
there's
way I was leaning towards as well initially, but I'll go ahead and finish. I'll explain in a second.
I was gonna say don't there's not a lot of other people that are on a team that play together a lot. I mean, I know that Carbon does play with Zan a lot, and along with their same kind of play group, they do have Sharky and Blaze that play together. But those players are that. Those combinations are nowhere near the top table that the J and Ebony are. That's just kind of with it.
I don't know. I
My
think I
whole
just
thing
gonna.
was why I ultimately decided on Zan and Math is I'm one of the players that, along with Murder and Kanye, also consistently play every single day with Ebony and Jay. So I can firsthand tell you they're not terrifying. There's been plenty of teams out there that I've had to play against that were fucking terrifying. Um, they're good. They win just as much as they lose. So that's why I think Zan is the key factor in this one.
All right. Anybody else burning to get the word in edgewise here? All right, let's move on then. We have Daffy Duck and the Wolf taking on Jester and War Machine. Who wants to volunteer on this one? Anybody?
I'll do it. Let's see. War Machine, Jester. Have they ever played in a tournament together?
No.
No. Okay. Wolf and Daffy, both longtime players. So I'm just gonna keep it simple. You got two longtime players versus two people who played regularly, just not regularly together. I'm gonna go with Daffy and Wolf. 3-1 on this one.
You said 3-1 for Daffy and Wolf?
Yeah.
All right. What do some others think? If you don't want to throw out full thoughts, you can just say scores.
I'll go 3-2 Daffy Wolf.
I'll go 3-2 Jester War Machine.
No faith in your own team.
I think people are underrating Jester and War Machine coming into
Yeah,
this.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm definitely
think
going
I've
Jester
seen
War Machine on
Jester.
this.
Don't look at Jester through the lens of how he performed while on Ebony's team. I'll say that.
Legitimately,
The
I
guy's
think
good.
I think that this is going to be an easy 3-1 for Jester and War Machine. Easy, if not 3-0.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't call it a blowout, but I would definitely favor them like 80-20, 90-10.
Yeah, for sure. And it's nothing personal. It's just the mechanics are way better on that team than.
I was really
Anyways.
impressed with Daffy last time we saw him. He didn't play in the last tournament, but the one before that, I was really impressed with him mechanically and that he had stepped up his game. But so far, I have yet to see that level of brilliance from him here in the tournament. And Wolf hasn't really stepped up gameplay to a level that has impressed me either. Whereas Jester, I feel like, has recaptured some of that magic and is playing really well. This is a guy that's taken series off of Guinan in the 1v1. Made deep runs in different tag tournaments, and War Machine once tagged with Murder and has shown a high caliber of play at times as well.
War Machine is one of the easiest people in the game to team up with. I mean, he's so easy to team up with because he just runs support, blasters, reans, and that's it. And it's so super fun to play with him. And with the playstyle of Jester, with the aggression with Fire Gahana and lightning swords and flame sword, and easy 3-1.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Triple and Carbon versus Choices and Algol.
I'd love to throw in on this one. I know it's my team. I was trying to kind of not say anything, but I feel like this one, it really does feel like it's actually pretty close. But I do think that specifically, even though the numbers might not quite show it in the stats, I think that Choices is quite a bit better than Triple in some of his games. And Algo and Carbon, like I feel like their Algo edges are out a little bit. So I feel like because of that, it's definitely going to be like probably like a 3-2 or a 3-1 in favor of and Algo.
I think that's a pretty spot on prediction.
I think it might be a mistake. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it a bit further away. I think Choices is gonna shine here.
Yeah, I think it might be a mistake to pair these guys up in isolation, like Carbon and Algol and Triple and Choices. Like, I do think that Carbon often plays to the level of her partner, and is really good in a support role. And I don't know. I actually give the edge to Triple and Carbon on this one.
I think I only give the edge to them if Choices ends up in a practice lobby and gets super tilted prior to the match.
Triple is pretty good mechanically, but his ace in the hole has been his janky play, and that just doesn't fly with Choices. He's one of the biggest anti-jank players.
And it doesn't really
people ignore his pedigree, but he really has a strong pedigree with like multiple top 4 finishes in tag team tournaments. The guy back when Ebony won that 1v1 tournament, there was only one player that took a series off of him. Choices did it in 14 minutes, 3-0.
Yep.
So I can only look at recent things because I've only been here for recent things. And I think to say that Triple is jank or that he does jank or whatever, I think that is so sideways and so like Triple is so much more than that. And you can see that when he does manuals, you can see that when he does normal stuff. I think he does jank every once in a while that I wouldn't even call jank necessarily, just because he thinks it's fun and he thinks it's outside the box and everything. But I think when it comes down to it, he's a serious person who can play that normal stuff and can easily do Blastery and whatever the meta is.
No, I think I said it at the beginning. I think he's a great mechanical player in addition, but I think Choices is being seen through the lens of having played with Ebony recently, and I think people are underrating him. The guy is a very solid player with a long pedigree of doing really well in tournaments.
I mean, even with the recent showing, it wasn't that bad. I mean, he
played okay versus me and Murder. Like there was nothing where I would look at he was
keeping pressure. He was popping. No, I don't think so at all. He was keeping pressure and popping on Palace. He was staying with his partner like a good player should. He knew when to go back to base to get shields. Highway, nothing either of them could do. It was a hang with reduced entropy. And City, he fucking ran decoy and was fucking Murder up the entire time. So, I wouldn't really say his recent showing should be viewed as what's to come, because I thought he did great despite the 3-0.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see Triple make a deep run in like a regular tournament. So far, he's shown pretty consistently good gameplay in these draft tournaments, but it's hard for me to put him over somebody like Choices right now, who has a very long history of doing quite well. Let's move on to the next one.
He's been in a single tournament that he's done badly in.
No, I think in a tournament, like in a tag tournament, I don't think he's placed below like 5th.
I don't think so either. Every single one, him and Mario, you and him. Anyways.
Yeah. Moving on then. The last match of that little Team Schmidt versus Team Skimmy is Schmidt and Game God versus Mirage and Skimmy. Ryze, I haven't heard you in a bit. What do you got on this?
Sure. Let's see. I think watching previous matches, I'm gonna give it to Schmidt and Game God. I think that while I'm not entirely sure about their synergy, that special X word we keep using, but I think that their aggression and their decent play is going to overcome Skimmy and Mirage. Ultimately, just in general, I think that they have a bit of an edge on some of their aggressive plays and some of their mechanics even. So I'm going to give it to them. I think a 3-1.
All right, let's get
All I
some
know
others
is-
that we haven't heard from. Let's see, Alice.
Ales. Called it.
I think this is gonna depend on Game Good and in the other side Mirage as partners to win the match for the teams. Because we can see that Skim and Schmidt can be can carry the matches really good. So I say that this is gonna depend on their partners or on how well they perform. I'm gonna say 3-2 Schmidt and Game Good.
I think it's ultimately going to depend on Game God. I don't mean this in a mean way, but he is a difficult player to play with. He has his own pace, his own style.
I mean, he can be
I've seen
really
him
up
do-
and down. Like when he played with
I've seen him
Math
do
versus
really, really
me.
good, and yeah,
Yeah, like he played quite well with Math, and then I've seen other times where you just like, my man, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. Last tournament with
he
Jay
has
was
very high variability.
yeah.
It really depends who you team him up with. He likes playing with a few people, like playing with a couple. That's all it really is at the end of the day.
Can't believe I'm agreeing with Orange, but
All right, let me take that back. You know, it really don't matter who you team him up with. He's a great player to have on your team. Evo, disagree with me.
there you go.
No, Sharky, before you leave, you got to tell us what you think is happening in this matchup.
Oh, this one, Schmidt and Game God versus Mirage and Skimmy.
Yep. If you're gonna leave, you gotta chime in. Full
All right.
analysis mode.
Let's see
I
here.
want stats.
Oh my god.
And top 2 reasons for that pick.
Well,
You're gonna need to cite in Chicago Manual of Style.
I feel like if anybody calls themselves Game God, they have to back it up. And
He does with all his wins on YouTube.
well, there you go. That's reason number one. I'll go for Schmidt and Game God. We'll call it a 3-2. I don't know. I really don't know. I actually have no basis for this pick whatsoever. I don't even know, Schmidt. Have I played you this tournament?
We have played in just warm-up lobbies. We have not played together.
Okay. Gosh, I just don't know. Well, you know, one thing I know is that Schmidt favors the hyper kick and Skimmy fails the photon burst. So actually, on that basis, I'll go with Skimmy and Mirage 3-2.
Wow.
No, really, I have.
I am hurt. I'm
shade.
hurt
So sorry.
about that. Nope. Time to bring only vacuum walls.
I mean, that's if you want to adjust based on that, that's on you. But I don't know. I really have no basis for that pick.
And then you'll block like the other snow. And by that I mean late.
But not.
And then I'll just bring triple lasers, and I'll prove to you that it works much better than double lasers.
I'll just dodge them all. Easy.
I do have to go.
You know,
Thank
that's
you.
because you are a jumper.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
And later, Shark Data.
All
Okay,
right. If we're
Bye,
starting
man.
to hemorrhage people, let's try and move through these.
All right, I
let's-
would
You
like
lose
to
one and it's labeled
I would like
hemorrhaging.
I would like to throw in one comment on this particular match. Right, like being completely.
You're only
honest,
allowed to chime in on your own match if it's straight fire trash talk.
It is
Oh,
straight
here
fire
we
trash
go.
Podcast.
Oh.
talk about myself. Okay, I'm just saying. Like, I feel like this particular match actually depends more on my play than anything else because I've been playing like garbage. All right, and I legitimately think that it's going to be an uphill battle to even attempt to win. That being said, like I'm willing to put in the effort and get this going, but I haven't been doing well in this whole tournament. And like Schmidt, he's been killing it. He's been doing really well, and I haven't had a very good record against him in general when I played against him. So like I would say it's probably going to be 3-2 Schmidt and Game God unless something changes from how I have been playing. And I've been trying to play better, but I've been trying a lot of new things, and it's just not clicking.
That's why we call it a meta.
What's the over-under on Mirage hitting a gnarly bundle blaster for the win?
For the
Vegas
win?
odds say.
I give it 4-1.
You got better odds just having him hit one rather than for the win.
Yeah.
You must not have viewed a whole lot of the Mirage Darcia games back in the day.
No, I have.
Or Mirage and Madman.
Those I have not.
Who's
Dude,
Madman?
Madman was the most annoying erase person on the planet. Every game you were getting hit with an exhaust or something stupid, a fucking pressure disintegrate.
There's nothing wrong with a pressure disintegrator or a Mirage.
There's a lot of things
Also,
wrong
no
with
one
that.
asked you.
He also makes Mirage. He also makes, Ryze look like a meditation instructor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. He's just a bald ginger who is angry that he's bald and still a ginger.
Damn.
Wait, can you technically be a ginger and bald though?
Yes, because of the beard.
Yeah, his beard.
They
Or
also
must
like
match
that
the
was
drapes,
that was
I
when
guess.
Mirage started running Bundle Blaster was when he was with Madman, and they would just run it together. They would both run like
Yeah,
single
'cause-
school optic Bundle Blaster together with like
Well, remember
6 boost
Remember,
mines.
Madman used to stun you with what's that fucking 4-cost move? It takes away 1 aura, takes away 1 of your aura.
Oh yeah, he was big on Restrain and Hungry Demon.
Restrain?
Yeah, he used to restrain you and use it as a stun, and then hit you with a bundle blaster.
Blaster. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, he used Paralyze sometimes. He used Restrain. He was also really big on a Hungry Demon arsenal that he used to run. He didn't run it as much in the re-release, but that's Madman. All right, let's get into this actual next matchup. I want to hear more out of the Team Skimmy and Team Schmidt people here for these. We've got Kanye and Evo. Finally, Kanye making it into the tournament, giving Team Affin a bit of a score upgrade here. We'll have to see if it makes enough of a difference, and we'll talk about that right now. At their first matchup is versus Murder and Fuel.
I would love to chime in on this one.
Go ahead.
I really, really feel like this is Affin's first win right here. Like Team Affin, that is a deadly team, and it's not that the other two are not like a good, like wouldn't be a good matchup, but it's just like Kanye is Kanye, and everyone knows he does some weird shit, but he does play at a very high level with his like kind of weird stuff, you know. And Evo is the best original player from Affin's team, and I think he definitely does edge out Fueled, and I think it's possible for Kanye to be able to like kind of mitigate the kind of, I don't know what you'd say, like the quality of play from Murder by kind of throwing off what he does.
Just throwing this out there, I've never lost to Kanye in a 1v1. Beat him in 3 tournaments.
You need a cookie for that?
I mean,
Just-
in the
just
last
saying.
one, are you sure Kanye didn't beat himself?
I mean, I played him like a fucking drum with my dash while he was trying to fire Gahan me on lane the whole time.
Give me your thoughts on whether you did more damage to him than Fire of Gehenna did to him.
On lane, fire Gahanna for sure, but every other map I won. Highway, I fucking juked him off the map. I made him fall
I just
off the
remember
fucking
like
map.
3 maps where he spent at least 10 health on Fire Gehenna.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really the butthurt kind of guy. I got a little salty when you said edge out whoever that guy is. I'm a 2-time
Fueled?
tag winner, sir.
Isn't that a 2-time Xanxus partner, though?
Who are you?
Yeah, just another captain. Someone that also gets carried by Xanxus. So.
Backpack recognizes backpack. I can hear the grumbles.
I think one backpack doesn't realize he's a backpack.
Yikes. Anyway, so I'm gonna agree with Skimmy, but a different score. I'm gonna say a 3-2 for Evo and Kanye, though. I think it'll be a really close series, and it'll be a great match to watch. But I do think this will be Team Athens' first win.
I think Team Athens should win every single matchup. There's just something that just happened for us to not win the matchup. But
You're not
be an
even on
asshole.
that team to go and like simp for them anymore.
I'm gonna be
No,
an
he's their
asshole to all
cheerleader.
of
What do you mean? He is
and
the
I'm
biggest.
not gonna fucking record.
What? You got to stream. I got to hear you scream.
No, sir. Not after your little slick ass mouth.
No, whatever.
All right. Any other predictions here, Carbon?
I think Evo and Kanye are gonna take it, but I'm not gonna give it a score.
All right. I think that Murder is going to whip Fuel into shape, and I think he's been playing really hot this tournament. I still think it'll be a close match. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch, but I got to give my edge to Murder and Fuel.
Well, that's your team, so.
I mean, just
somebody sounded a lot like Orange
in the matchup.
Okay. Sure, Polly. Whatever.
Anybody else want to chime in? You can be on the teams involved if you need to. I just try to make sure that everybody gets a chance. All right, fine. We're moving on. All right, this one's my match. It's Ska Boss and Killamark versus myself and Filthy. Why don't you go ahead first, Carbon?
Oh Jesus. I know Killer Mark and I know Ska. I don't know Filthy. I mean, Bregan the other day said he didn't know what I played on piano, so I don't know if I know Bregan either. I want to almost give it to Killer Mark and Ska just because of how they play together. I've seen Killer Mark and Ska play very good together in some pickup games. And so I'll say that they're gonna get it, but it's gonna be close, like 3-2, 3-1-ish.
I'll make sure to put that on their gravestone.
Okay.
I'll disagree with that. I'll say that I don't think Bregan's gonna hard carry, but I think Bregan and Filthy are just gonna be that's gonna be a pretty decent team. They're gonna be hard hitting, and if Killer Mark is standard Killer Mark, and I mean Killer Mark and Ska they play really well together, but I just don't think that their synergy even together is gonna stop the just straight punches from Bregan and Filthy.
Scott Boss is a lot like OG. You never know what to expect. One day you might just whoop his ass all night. Another day, you can't hit him for shit. He's hitting you every time you turn your back, so you never know.
Yeah, Ska Boss is a pretty variable player. Sometimes he can really step up his game. People were saying they don't know Filthy as well because he hasn't been around in the past couple tournaments. I was going to say, I mentioned it earlier in the tournament to people that I think Filthy is very much like Killer Mark in the sense that they have a unique style. They're very scrappy
Better
and they get in.
mechanically.
Yeah, I could give him a mechanical edge, but I mean play style wise, they play very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And then also
Killer Mark
Filthy
uses a
is
little bit
kind of
more
a way
erase.
like War Machine as well because I feel like he's very easy to play with. Like he slots in almost anywhere with anyone, and there's very few barriers. Like I've rarely seen him play with someone and like, oh, they don't work together. They don't have the mojo. He's very easy to play with.
Yep. Unless your name is Mr. Math, then they do not play well together.
Did they play in a tournament?
Oh yeah, and it was rough. Math went down on City, and Filthy just it was so bad I guess they stopped talking to one another mid match because Filthy was just wandering the whole map, couldn't never find his body.
I think Math is a hard player to play with. I mean, we're digressing a bit
old
here, but I
Math
think
was
Math
easy.
is difficult to play with.
I think old Math, when he ran Rians and Flamesword all the fucking time, was easy to play with. This Math is very hard to play with.
I mean, that, and then, I mean, even old Math felt hard to play with. Like, anytime you got in the melee, like, you were about to take a partner Flamesword up the ass. Like, It was like almost as big a meme as like me winning on Palace was like math. If he's your teammate, will hit you with a sword over and over. I don't
That
know.
hasn't changed.
I think he's difficult to play with, and that's not to detract from his individual skill. His rating reflects that, but I think he's one of the more difficult players to play with. Let's get some more predictions on our current matchup, though. We've got 2. Skimmy, what do you got? Skimmy, are you alive? Are you there?
I am sorry, I was muted. That was my bad. No, I was gonna say, I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna say Bregan loses because he's in this match and he doesn't win. No, but seriously, I actually do favor this one pretty heavily in the favor of Bregan and Filthy. Like I would say, like probably a 3-1, maybe even a 3-0. Mainly just because, like, I've played only a tiny bit with Bregan, but I play with Filthy, I play with Skyboss, and I play with Killermark, and I feel like Filthy, like, on an average day, is probably gonna be able to outplay either Skyboss or Killermark. Skyboss has breakout performances where he plays really, really well, but on an average day, he does not do that.
I disagree. I think Skyboss is by far much more consistent.
Yeah,
and they're both late night crew. I used to play. I used to be every single night with Daffy, Kanye, Skyboss, and OG every night playing. I think Skyboss is way more consistent.
Yeah, that's just literally just my opinion on that. It's just I feel
no. I know.
Like they edge out, they edge him up quite a bit. That's how I feel. I just feel like the team is just.
I do give the favor to them, even though this is my team in it. I agree on that, but it's like I said earlier with Jester and War Machine, and you can't count Skyboss out, man. He's a variable that you have to really be concerned about.
That's true.
And if anybody knows how to talk to Killermark and to get him to listen, it's Ska.
He's like the nicest guy. Him and OG.
Tell you what.
Yeah, you can't do nothing to piss them two off. Like
That's true.
Like the whole match, and they will positive talk you through it the whole time.
I could definitely see that.
I could definitely see Bregan getting tilted by accidentally getting hit by some dumbass disintegrate out of Killermark. That would be fun.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. Come to think of it, like disintegrate or what's the one that starts with an E?
You can guarantee he'll hit himself with it too. He might catch one of either Filthy or Bregan, but he's gonna hit himself with it too.
Yeah, he just somehow manages to hit those. Like that's a perfect, like really good timing on those.
I used to be like that too. I stopped using it.
Yeah, I used to run it as well, and then people got salty about it, so I stopped running it.
Then all of a sudden, Quantum Decay started appearing a lot.
Yeah. All right. To my defense, I was using Quantum Decay since day one.
It goes in and out of meta. Like it's like Photon Burst. I know Skimmy was trying to claim Photon Burst earlier in the tournament. Like it's one of the things that comes in and out of the meta.
Okay.
I love Photon Burst. It's probably one of my favorite skills. Or not probably, it is.
It was mine back in re-release. I loved how it looked. I thought it was the coolest looking move in the game.
I was always a big fan of Wave.
And then I discovered Railgun, and it was love at first sight.
All right, next matchup. Let's move through these two last ones a little more quickly.
I kind of love like Orange and F and Have.
Got Sandal and Midas Wright versus Nathan and Blazy.
You already know.
Is Blazy a jumper or a cartwheeler?
Who?
He changes.
He changes. He tends to play more jumper, but he does play
he tends to be more of a jumper.
Okay.
And then Sandal has recently been playing more of a roller cartwheeler, but Sandal originally is more jumper too.
Yeah, Sandal also swaps around because I think in the
last can literally play every single character. He can play
Yeah.
the monsters
Mhm.
too effectively. He can dodge with them.
Famously
Somehow.
3-0'd choices with monsters.
Oh, that was cheating though. That eyeball, the swords are so hard to dodge.
Oh yeah, when it phases.
But that being said, the eyeball has like, I swear it has like -1 or -2 speed just at base. It's slower. If you tried to race, you would outrun the eyeball. If you walked in a straight line, you would beat it.
I forget. Are the
All right,
eyeballs able to get onto the top of the boxes on
No.
Palace?
No.
No.
But a fun fact: the eyeball, if you stand next to the broken pillars, normally you, as a jumper, you can't throw like I'm trying to think of a move, like bolt of fire, for example, over them. But the eyeball throws it from its tail, and it launches its tail over its head, which goes over the
The pillar.
little barrier. You can throw medium range moves with it
Huh.
over objects you hide behind.
That is
Now
something
you
new
know.
I've learned about Phantom Dust.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't even
Let's
know
get some
that.
actual
the eyeball
predictions
meta.
on this matchup, though. How about Skimmy and Schmidt? Give me your predictions.
All right, I'll go. I'm gonna give it to Nathan and Blazy. I'm gonna call it probably a 3-1. Unless Sandal can pull out something crazy, which is totally possible. But I'm really thinking Nathan and Blazy, just a better team this round.
Schmidt?
I think it's going to be a 3-0 Nathan and Blasian, although it may be I still say that we've seen a lot of the reverse sweep off of Palace if it's a 3-1. I think if there's going to be a win, it's going to be on Palace, and then Nathan and Blasian will just reverse sweep.
All right. Before we get other commenters in, I'm actually going to take the opposite on this. I find this a little surprising. I think this is actually Team Affin's best chance this round to pick up a win.
Me too.
Nathan has been on a bit of a downturn so far in this tournament. He hasn't looked horrible. I wouldn't say he's had like a terrible showing, but we haven't seen some of the brilliant performances we saw last tournament. And Blazy's been a little up and down, in my opinion. He's had some strong performances and he's had some weak performances. And Sandal is Sandal. I think he's a great player. He's got lots of top finishes in multiple tournaments, and he's taken down lots of big players pretty decisively in the past. And Midas is the kind of person who's going to listen to him and build what he wants him to build. And I think Sandal's just going to be able to use him.
Aggressive.
What's that?
On top of that, Midas is aggressive, and Sandal's going to be able to play off that. Sandal likes fire moves like Fire Gahana and stuff. And he uses them pretty effectively too.
I think that, they're going to be able to mold together, and I think this is honestly Team Affin's best chance of the round to pick up their first win. I would edge it to them 3-2. I still think it's a close matchup, but I think this is their best shot.
I hate to do this. I agree with Bregan. Wow. Man, when did you start supporting Team Affen? All right.
Once you get off it?
Actually,
Wow.
wow. Shots fired.
Drop the mic.
And with that, the podcast is over.
And that's the end of the podcast, folks. It's been a good podcast. We see you next
I'm
tournament.
sorry, Orange. I love you.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. I lost my train of thought. Wow. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
On to the next match.
savage.
Oof. Jesus.
Does anybody else want to talk about that matchup?
No.
Carbon. What
I don't think I can after that. Jesus.
Just give us your prediction if you have to.
Jesus. I'd give it to Sandal because he's a queen.
All right, I like it.
I
Okay.
think Sandal Midas probably take it 3. I'm gonna give the first win to Nathan on Palace.
You think it's
But
going to
I
be one
think
of
that
those
it's
Palace 3-1s that Schmidt was talking
Well,
about?
I'm not trying. No, I don't believe in that. I don't think that's true. But
I don't believe
in
that.
this particular situation, Palace is a great cartwheeler map, and Nathan is not a terrible cartwheeler. I think that between him and his partner Wolf, he is definitely the the better mechanical. But I think after that, I think Sandal and Midas are gonna take it in a sweep. Although I don't know, Palace or Sandal used to be a beast on Palace, man. Jumping reins from the second floor. We'll see. It's gonna be a good match.
All right. Last one then, and then we've just got a few more predictions and things we'll touch on. But we've got
I got this one.
Affin and Alice versus Sharky and Ryze.
All right. So we got this person named Affin and Alice, part of Team Affin, versus actually my favorite person in Phantom Dust right now, Sharknado and Snow. So this is a tough one for me to do, and you probably won't believe which round I'm going to go with this one. I actually think Sharky and Snow is going to take this one, 3-1.
His penis out of your mouth long enough to say that you like someone
Crazy. It's right next to him. Don't worry.
Keeping it warm in the palm of his butt.
He put it in. I was gonna say put it in another orifice. No, I'm gonna have to go and agree with Orange on literally that. I actually think, honestly, I think Ryze and Sharky could easily take up the next matchup, potentially maybe even the third matchup, to be honest, and still take it.
This one comes down to Ailes. His lag is good enough to win for them, but it depends if he runs fucking shields or not.
I gotta say, I played this matchup, at least, or this pairing on Team Ryze was one that I really wanted to see because me and Schmidt played against them the other night. And I think those two are actually quite more dangerous than the sum of their parts. I think that they're better than our third-ranked team, just in the sense that they have some natural playstyle mojo going on. I'm avoiding the word synergy now. I don't have a good replacement word for it, so we're going with mojo for the moment.
For this team, call it Sharkergy.
Symbiosis.
Sharkergy. But yeah, I think they sweep this series 3-0 pretty cleanly. They took multiple games off of me when they were playing together. So
yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think they're quite dangerous.
I'd say, yeah, I'd expect to see a 3-0. I mean, when me and Bregan were playing with them, they play pretty well together. I think that they'll come out pretty strong. I mean, Ailes and Affin, they may have something dirty, and I think that's going to be their best bet to win is if they just get something dirty and get it off quick and effectively. Otherwise, I think Sharky and Ryze will just beat them down.
All they need is one arm roast, and it's over. We've already seen this one.
I'm pretty sure that one of these people learned their lessons after a match.
Are you implying that Affin learns from his mistakes?
I'm pretty sure.
How dare you?
No, I'm talking about the person with the lag. Some people.
How dare you imply that Affin learns from his mistakes?
And here I thought you was innocuous. Man, shoot, it's just going so vicious today. Man.
All right. Anybody else want to talk about that matchup?
No.
All right, let's talk about predicting the tournament at its end. Before I fully go into that, I'll just bring it up here on screen. If you haven't seen it yet, I can link it in one of the chats, but the T-shirts are in their final stage, which is the prize that everybody's playing for.
They look beautiful, too, by the way.
I think they look really nice. I tried to have one made back in the day, and I couldn't get it made on the black. I think it looks much better on black than the gray one that I got. Murder and Jester have done a great job in coordinating getting this done. It's impressive work. Does anybody remember how it works? It's free for the first place team, and then second place gets half off, right? And then after that, third and fourth play full price, or
third place gets
third is
small amount off. Also, I think they get like.
I think third gets a quarter off. Yeah.
Okay, something like that. This is what everybody's playing for. I think they look great. One last shout out to Murder and Jester for putting in a lot of effort to pull that off and putting up with all the drama of this tournament. So thank you to those two especially.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's talk about heading into that final week then. We're looking at that overall leaderboard again. Obviously, Team Affin at this point is statistically impossible, I think, to even make third, let alone first or second. So we're
Anything
looking
is
at
possible.
Team Schmidt right now with a solid, close to 10-point lead. This week could change things if they lose a couple of games to Team Skimmy. We might get into an actual three-way race here. But otherwise, if we're looking at Team Schmidt in the lead, let's talk about who we think is most likely to end up playing them towards the end. Who do you think is going to end up second place and then playing against them in the captain's round?
Is it being done the same ways before the top performer plays with the captain?
Yeah, I think the
Yes.
top
Yeah.
performer plays with the captain, and then first and second play each other, and third and fourth play each other.
Yeah, the top performer plays with the captain, and if there are two players that are equally performing, then the captain does get to choose which player it is.
And we're talking about Team Schmidt.
We're talking about we're assuming Team Schmidt is going to be getting first, and
So
it's more or
who
less
their
At
opponent
least
will
first
be?
or second. I don't think it's really likely that they could finish below second. I'd say it's even like 80-90% chance they finish first, but
yeah. We're assuming it's probably going to be Team Schmidt versus Team Ryze or Team Skimmy, and I think it really depends more than anything else on how well like this week goes with me versus Schmidt, and how well this next week goes with Ryze versus Schmidt. I feel like the matches against Schmidt's team are actually where it's going to be the deciding factor. I feel like that's going to be the biggest push.
All right. Well, I think it's going to be Team Schmidt, and I think that they're going to come in first, and it'll be Zan and Snow, and I think their opponents would have been Murder and the other Snow, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Murder will decline playing that match just because I don't know. I'm sure he'll have his reasons.
I'm trying to look
So
at
it'll end up
who's
being Bregan.
Murder's only 8-7 right now.
It's Blasian is the top on Ryze's team.
He's
Oh,
10
is it?
and
I don't have
5,
the
and
points
I'm
in front
10
of me.
and 6.
I don't have the points in front of me. My bad.
Oh, is it completely game? I thought it was game record, or match record, not game record. I thought
It's
it was based
overall
off-
points. It's overall
It's overall
points.
points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
So right now it's Blasian.
gotcha. Well, Ryze, you better hope that you don't come in second then and have to play Zan. That would
Yeah.
suck.
We'll see. I think Bregan can pull out some more overall
Blasian.
wins. Blasian is currently the top. And no offense to you, Blasian. I love you, but I don't think you and I put up a very good showing against, Zan and Schmidt at this time. But
He's
there's
saying he hopes that Bregan passes him.
which is still a possibility considering the matchups this week and potential matchups next week.
Are you telling him to throw a mattress?
No,
He doesn't have
absolutely
to.
not.
He's the captain.
I'm
He can plan the matches out how he wants.
absolutely not going to tell him how to throw matches. I wouldn't
Just tell him
encourage
how
that for
to throw
anybody.
matches. You should tell him
I
how to
wouldn't-
Oh, he's just
I
gotta
wouldn't-
watch him play then.
Yeah,
We'll
I would-
know what's up when next week Bregan's playing some ales.
I wouldn't I wouldn't encourage that for anybody. But regardless, if it's not Team Ryze, then it'd be Skimmy and
Jay.
Jay.
against Xanxus and
Jay.
Schmidt.
I think Mirage has the same game score right now. He's 12 and 5.
Oh, maybe it'll be Skimmy and Mirage
I
against
think
Xanxus
right
and Schmidt.
now, I think here's how it would end up being: is it would depend on how this week, like I said, this week makes a
Yeah.
lot of difference. And like right now, I think if it's overall point record, I'm not exactly sure where they fall. Like I know that like game record, I'm pretty sure that what is it called? Jay has a better game record, but I'm not sure exactly point record. I know that Mirage has had one round loss and Jay has not lost any rounds, so that might have something to do with the scoring, but I'm not exactly sure because I haven't actually seen it.
See, well, how it kind of ends up at the end of all things. Obviously, we still have those 2 weeks that are pretty important going into it. But it does kind of sound like Skimmy and Team Skimmy and I might be in the same boat here as far as who's facing Zan and Schmidt.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
if you guys are terrified, you can forfeit, and Team Affin will step up, and I will play Zan wholeheartedly, and I will try my best to judge of Anubis him again.
I mean,
Oh my god.
I don't know. I'm almost in favor of that option.
Before or after Appen dies?
Listen, as long as he doesn't run out of
Ah,
attacks.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Zan. I thought you were talking about me.
No, not
Hold up.
Well, it depends
Yeah, I
on how
don't-
many dark holes Evo has.
I don't think you would have ever gotten that off the ground if he didn't run out of attacks.
I had it off the ground long before he ran out of attacks, man.
That is true.
You were in that respawn blinking mode long before he hit 10 capsules.
Oh yeah. I saw that come out and I was like, what the fuck is that? I didn't even know what it was.
It hits like a freight train, but it looks like a birdie.
Oh yeah. I told him I said I just got hit by the biggest sign of saints I've ever seen. That's where I was at.
I mean, there's also a possibility looking here. Triple is 12-2 versus Zan's 12-1. Zan is going to have a rough, or at least a rougher round 5 and 6 than he's had. There's a significant possibility that Triple passes him up.
And that would
I'm
change.
confused. Is it how many games you win versus how many you lose, or is that how much your rating changes?
I don't see where the points are
It's
that each
win to
person
loss.
is scored, so I'm just
Win
looking
to
at
loss?
their win-loss. And
Yeah.
Zan is
Okay.
12-1 and Triple is 12-2.
I would be genuinely mad if it was based off of how your points change.
No,
Well,
it is
yeah,
not a
But that's why
Same
when he kept on
here.
saying it was points, I was like, points what? That's why I was confused.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you
Not-
if it's
not
if
the
it's
rating
plus
system.
point,
Per
if it's
win,
point
Okay.
change, then
Well, minus
it's
half
point.
loss.
If it's point change, then I definitely would have Jay on my team because because pretty much everyone on my team, even though I'm the only person on my team that has a negative win record, somehow I think just about everybody on my team has lost points except for Jay.
I don't even know how the point system works.
Yeah,
I'm
this
kidding.
point
I
system is
I do.
whack.
But
Affin,
yeah, I don't understand it.
you got me looking like orange.
What's funny is that almost every Team Affin player so far is like 4-12 or 5-12, except for one. Would you like to guess who?
Is it orange?
It's Affin.
Does it happen? Yeah.
What is
Affin
he?
is 1-12.
and yet they still, not a single one of them, have lost more rating than me.
How much have you lost? Because I lost like 75 points.
Oh no, you're
No.
back down to negative 30. Last week he was the biggest loser at negative 84.
Am I not the biggest loser? I'm negative 76.
This point system is a little crazy. So Affin has gone
Wait,
1-12. He's gone 1-12, and he's only lost 29 rating difference. He started at 508.
Jeez.
He started
What?
at 508,
Oh,
and he's only
man.
lost
Mine at?
29 points.
Well, it's because of the matchups he goes into.
But he's not
What was
even.
mine at,
He's not
Bregan?
even. He's getting 3-0'd almost every time.
That's
Wait.
probably because
Yes, but the rating system expects that to happen. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it doesn't
I'm-
change that
What
much.
algorithm is he using where it's got a prediction on Affin losing
it's
built
it's
into it?
based off of the point.
Built in.
Like it adds
off
both
the points
players
relative to
together.
that
That's
game.
him. I think it's because already people. I don't think Avon was rated very high. He was originally 508, and so and then if he keeps on going up against these teams, because you got to think Team Avon, they go up against teams that there's a big margin difference in total rating. And so that's built into Jester's thing. If there's a big
Yeah.
difference in ratings, he takes a % chance that you're gonna win.
Yeah, but at some
And
point
then
he's
that's how he
1-12,
determines.
and he's only negative 29.
Yeah.
I mean, let's
Yeah,
just
but
look
that's
at
my
you.
problem
We'll
with
look
it,
at
like-
you right next to him. You are
I don't
10-5.
know.
You
Oh,
are,
don't look at me.
You're 10-5 in this tournament. You have gained quite a bit of rating, and yet after going 10-5, you are still at a lower rating than Affin. You are 464, and he is 479. He's gone 1-12, and you have gone 10-5.
Well,
And-
yeah,
Yeah,
But originally I was rated at 376 versus him being rated at 508. So obviously, if he loses a significant amount of matches, but there are two people who are over 508, but not by a lot, then he's not going to change that much.
The other reality is that there's only 4 matches per week for each team. So there's only so many people you can actually play with per team. There's not that many permutations. And the best way to gain rating, quote unquote, is have a big upset against someone who is rated much higher than you, which can't always happen because the ratings are supposed to be kept as
Yeah,
equal as
Yeah.
good
possible
luck
on
doing
each
No,
that
match.
with all.
apparently,
Good luck
if
doing
Team
that on this
Athens
Athens
wins,
team.
if Team
like
Athens
you
win,
just
we will
like
go up a
you're
lot.
saying like you're saying I went up 88 points. Like I've gone up 88 points. I just played Evo. Like in what God given world do I play up against Evo and not just get utterly squashed? The one
With
where
Zan.
Zan carries.
Man, yeah.
That's it. Okay, so
Is it
that's
wasn't?
why
And to
it's
be
like
fair,
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Evo was doing fucking work that entire series. To be fucking fair,
oh yeah.
damn it.
Wasn't this the series that you carried Zan a game and he's like, I have no attack?
No. There is no situation where Carbon carries Zan. You're not gonna twist.
Did you not carry Zan in one game when he had no attacks?
No, I did
She-
not carry Zan. Zan
she-
picked me up how many times?
She hit like 4 slide lasers and 1 twist, which happened to be when all I had was a dark hole.
Yeah, and then I hit Laser Blade like maybe twice on Killer Mark. Our saving grace was that Zan can pick up. Zan picked me up like 6 times over and over and over again just so I could hit somebody once.
You know, my real question is, since I'm no longer in the tournament, did that drop me down to the 101 rating I wanted?
No.
Ah, okay. I don't care about this system.
All right, I got one last question. I know we're losing somebody else, so we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
If it's not Team Schmidt winning, which team do you think it is? Do you think it's Ryze or Skimmy? Alice.
Team Ryze or Team Skimmy?
Yep. If one of them manages to catch up and win the tournament, which one do you think it is?
After we defeat Team Ryze this round, I think it's gonna be Team Skimmy then.
All right.
I like this. I like this answer.
Bring it, Alice. Bring it.
What do you think, Orange? If one of them makes the catch up, do you think it'll be Team Skimmy or Team Ryze?
If they make the catch up, you know I'm going with Team Athens. But if I can't choose that, I'm going to choose Team Ryze.
Evo?
Are we just judging the team as a whole, or also factoring in who would be their quote unquote champion?
Just who would win the tournament? Like which team? Like if one of them manages to pass up Schmidt's team, which one do you think has the better chance? Team Skimmy or Team Ryze?
I'm gonna go with Ryze. It's got my boy Murder in there. I gotta go with it.
What do you think, Carbon?
I'll go with Ryze.
What do you think, Ryze?
I wonder. You know what? I will give a nod to Skimmy's team. It's a tough-looking team, and I think he has, definitely some decent ability to win there.
And what do you think, Skimmy?
I'm gonna go ahead and give Ryze's team also a nod and say, there's definitely a good possibility he could pull something out. I mean, he does have like Murder, Bregan. He's got some power.
But being honest, Team Skimmy has.
I would say Schmidt has the power. Ryze has more of the finesse in his squad.
That's fair, actually. I do. Yeah, he does have more.
You ever seen Bregan standing jump a flame sword?
Oh my god! Every time I fucking play this man, I see him jump a flame sword.
That's finesse. It's beautiful.
You know what? Can I tell you the trick to beating that? Use a laser blade. You can't jump it.
Want to know the real secret Murder and Bregan were drafted?
Was it you
I didn't want to have to play them ever.
Was it you that I jumped the fire Gehenna of the other day?
Yes.
I standing jumped over a fire Gehenna point blank. Just like a sword.
Yep.
I did it to a blaster in a tournament match.
I didn't know I could do it to a fire Gehenna, but I standing jumped over it.
I was body blocking someone when we knocked them down, so they couldn't make the pickup, and this motherfucker goes to vibe blaster me in the chest, and I somehow Meister jumped over it, didn't get hit by it.
It's something I want to work on in practice. I think there's a lot easier ways to do it, like just moving to the side. But that was one of the most baller things I'd ever done in a match, just standing jump a fire Gehenna.
That is pretty
I've
sweet.
never done
actually.
that. I've jumped agonies 3 times in a row from Kanye on a flat surface.
I've gotten decent at dodging agonies like that too, but I've never done it point blank.
Oh, this was at like what should have been, I would think, like perfect medium range where you shouldn't be able to do that. There was no elevation. It was just,
You can standing jump agonies at a regular medium range. I've done it a couple of times, but we're devolving right now. So let's go ahead. We're gonna end the official recording. Thank you for anyone who is tuned in live or who is going to be watching the recording of this. That'll wrap for the podcast. We will likely see you and tournament winners for an interview, as well as plenty more casts of games coming up. Thank you and good night.